one of the things that encourages me is that I didn't go into it seeking the rights of women. That wasn't my primary heart. My primary heart was to serve Jesus in whatever context he placed me in. Now, for me, he opened the doors for me to serve in church. And actually, I had wonderful men, even back home in a Baptist church, in an environment that was conservative. I had wonderful men who championed my gifts, and gave me opportunities to express those gifts. And then when I came over here, again, the same thing happened. From my perspective, it's not about championing women's rights. It's about serving him and making much of Christ in whatever context he's placed you in.
Hello folks, welcome back to part 2. An Aussie talks about discipling Brits with an American. This is a conversation with Tash Edwards. Tash, in Beaconsfield, England, is the pastor of discipleship and communities at Latimer Church, just outside of Oxford. We're hearing Tash talk about the magnificence of life in Christ as a woman who's also a pastor, and the conflicts and the challenges she's facing doing that, as well as the work that they're doing in discipleship in such a wonderful biblical fashion. Let's listen as Tash talks to us about conflict, being a woman as a pastor, and talking about ones and twos together, working together in Christ as disciples alongside each other.
Let me ask the elephant in the room question for everybody, because stateside, I'd be talking to a guy right now, Tash. What's it like as a woman who's a pastor over there?
Yeah, you know what? I haven't faced antagonism or hostility, which has been great. It's been wonderful. In fact, I've been championed quite well. I think in the UK, you know, women can be ordained in the Anglican Church. It's not as big a problem. In some denominations, it's still an issue, but more because of the Anglican Church's influence, it's more generally accepted. So I haven't had to face it so much in the context that I'm in, partly because it has Anglican roots, our church. So in that denomination, it's okay. In Australia, I had to face it a lot more because of where I was back home. But it hasn't been a challenge for me. I think the only challenge is my own self-doubt around it, and occasionally thinking, oh, I'm a woman, can I really do this? And that's partly because of my own upbringing and background, and because of my first ministry context, which was a fairly conservative Baptist church back home.
Folks, we're just asking all of you to think about the fact that discipleship has, in many respects, been avalanched or eclipsed by some parts of the culture that have pushed it away from the more biblical model Christ gave us. And we've heard Tash talk today about how much it has forced us into large group is it, and Tash's rebuttal to that was some very thoughtful ideas, both about what the fuller biblical model of discipleship is all about, as well as some of the pressures and challenges that are facing all of us as disciples today. So please pass this on to your friends and help us get the word out that discipleship has been hacked, so that we can, in the digital space, talk to folks a little bit more and get them interested in talking to us in the physical space about the reality of who Christ is. As always, thanks for listening.